Soil, welcome. Basically, in this individual reading, this will be for Scorpio. This will be for Scorpio for August 24th to August 31st of 2026. So you know what's going on for you, Scorpio. I understand what you're going through in the way how you're feeling and the way how you're going to represent yourself. But the way this is, you need to understand what's happening around you in that sort of way. What I mean by that is that you need to focus on, the way how you feel, the way how you think, the way how you're going to set your mind on something, and that's how you're going to be. But what this is, no matter what's going to be happening that way, you need to understand it. You need to be, go along with it, right? That's how it goes. So, whether you need to focus on that, you need to focus, and what's happening is, that's how it's going to be. But let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on through this whole entire reading, and it's going to be what's going on. So, this is what's going to happen, and this just needs to be what's going on. So, let's see. So the way this is, it's going to be very interesting indeed, and you need to understand that. So you have the Hermit card reversed, you already have a soulmate, and the 2 Pentacles already balancing. That's how it goes. Scorpio, you need to pay attention to what you're doing in that way, and you need to be focused on that. You need to be reliable, you need to be who you are, and you need to understand that, right? So when you're balancing, that's what's happening. So whether you might be dealing with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, that's what you can do, but that's how it's going to be in that way. So this is what's going to be happening in that way, okay? So let's see what's going on. Let's see. So we're going to see this. Let's see what's happening. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. But the way this is going to be very interesting in that way, and that's just how it is in that way. So here we go. Let's see. So you have the 7 Pentacles up, right? So which means that you're focusing on your career. You need to focus on what's happening in that way, Scorpio, because that's how it goes. If you want to focus on your career, you need to do that. That's what's happening. But whether you might be dealing with a Virgo or Taurus in that way, you need to focus on it. You need to focus on what you're happening in that way, right? So you need to pay attention on how you're feeling in that way, right? So the way of this is, let's see what's going on. So I'm going from the middle to right, middle to left. King on Taurus, there's no leadership. Ace of Taurus, there's no anxiety. Page of Taurus, there's no prospects. 3 of Taurus, there's no heartbreak. King on Taurus, there's charisma. 5 of Taurus, there's conflict. Yeah, because if you are having conflict and you're feeling like, oh, okay, you're fine. No, you're not. So whether you might do another Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, you might be doing it in Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but the way this is, you need to focus on what you're doing in that way. Let's take the middle and the left side, please. Sun cards already, there's positivity. 9 Taurus, there's no fear. 4 Pentacles, there's no prosperity about money. 9 Taurus, there's no immaturity. 10 Taurus, there's no healing. Just Taurus, you're not telling the truth, so you're lying about something. I have no idea why, but let me clarify that. Justice card. 9 Pentacles, you want trust. 10 Taurus, there's always conclusions. 9 Cups, there's fulfillment. 5 Pentacles, you want prosperity about money. Just the Chariot, there's no progress. Moon is over, there's misrotations. So basically, you might be affected by the moon. Let's see what this moon is. 5 Cups, there's grief. 9 Pentacles, you're feeling uncomfortable. Exactly. Fool reverse, there's no change. Queen Cups, there's no empathy. 6 Taurus, there's movement. Yeah, so the way how you're going through, in that way, that's what you're happening in that way. Let's see what's the 6 of Swords about. Ace Pentacles, there's no prosperity about money. Stars over, there's inspiration. Page of Swords, there's no education. 2 Cups, there's relationships and friendships. Yeah, because, it seems to be that it's bound to happen, right? It's like you need to be who you are, and you need to understand it. You need to put your things into perspective. So what's happening with the Star card over here? The 2 Taurus, there's no planning. Words over, there's completion. Okay, so what's between the World card and the 2 Cups? High Priestess over, you're using your voice. Ace Cups over, there's satisfactory. 4 Cups over, you want a distraction. Yeah, because That's what you want. What's else with this 4 of Cups here? Wheel of Fortune, you're having good luck. Yeah, because you want good luck, you want things to happen all at once, right? So whether you need to understand it, whether you're going to define it in one way or another. Let's see what's this 5 of Swords about. Judgment reverse, not taking action. 4 of Wands reverse, there's no celebration. 8 of Wands reverse, there's no speed. 6 of Pentacles reverse, there's no kindness, right? So basically you're in one of those moods where you're feeling like you're being unkind right now. But what this is, you need to understand. You need to move on with your feelings, no matter how it goes. Let's see what the 6 Wands Pentacles about. 6 Cups reverse, there's no past. 6 Wands reverse, there's no celebration. 7 Wands reverse, you're not feeling resilience. 8 Pentacles, sorry, you're feeling perfection. 7 Cups reverse, there's no delusion. King of Pentacles, you want prosperity about money. Magician reverse, there's no skill. Death Cups, there's endings. So you're focusing on the Scorpio. Yeah, so the way out of this is, no matter how you're going to do it in the right way, in the right perspective, that's all you can do. But, needless to say, Scorpio, you need to pay attention to how you're feeling, no matter how it goes, right? Because in that way, in that portion, you need to figure out what you want, what you get, but that's what's happening in that way. So it means, let me clarify this Wheel of Fortune here. So yours is inspiration, okay? What's this death card over here for the endings? Moon reverse is on recitations. Okay, so I understand what's going on in that way. So let's see what's going on. Let me focus the star card. Hermit, there's solitude, maybe you're looking for a soulmate. Sun card, there's negativity. So you're in between. You're between about the, a positive side and negative side. I understand what you're going through, but what this is, that's what's happening in that way. What's also with the star card, the sun card here? Moon reverse is on recitations. The trade is already want progress. Death card, there is no ending, so you're not focusing on the Scorpio. Emperor reverse is no structure. Wheel of Fortune is already you're having good luck. Yeah, because that's what you're doing. You're focusing on how you're focusing in that way because you want to have positivity. And you want to have good luck on your side no matter what, because no matter how it happens in that way, that's what's going to be happening in that way. What's this moon card about? Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions. Devil's over, there's obsessive addictions. Strength reverse, you have no bravery. High Priest over, you're using your inner voice. Temperance story is your healing. Yeah, because you're healing about what's happening around you. Because things are not going as planned, and you're thinking like, woe was me, I can't do it anymore, I quit. But wait, this is Scorpio. If you feel like you need to be abound with your emotions, no matter how it goes, you need to understand that. Because if you don't have bravery, you're being scared, right? I understand about being scared is, get your heart pumping very fast. But wait, this is, if you're being scared and you don't know what to do, you're going to face something. You're going to face about what's going on, and you might have all these consequences, right? So whether what's happening in that way, you need to speak up. You need to be how you're going to be, but you need to be confident on what you're doing in that way, right? Because you need to have your own confidence, and when you do, that's what's happening in that way. So let me clarify this Wheel of Fortune here. Death card, there's endings, you're focusing on the Scorpio. Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. So you are in between, having good luck, having bad luck. What's the Temperance card about? The World reverse is incompletion. Empress, there's no nourishment. Magician reverse, there's no skill. Hermit reverse, you have a soulmate. That was where you're making decisions. Yeah, because when you're making decisions, that's all you can do, is making decisions, and that's what you want. What's the Wheel of Fortune about? Taurus reverse, there's no transformation. Temperance reverse, there's no healing. Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Sun reverse, there's negativity. So you are in between, right? You're in between about your emotions, having positive, having negative. But this is how it's going to be in the back and forth of this whole entire dilemma, right? So no matter how you're going to be focusing, you need to focus about what's right, what's wrong. But that's what's happening in that way. So I'm going to clarify what's happening on the left side, the middle, and the right. So we have the 10 cups first, there's incompletion. followed by the 5 swords, there's conflict, and we have the King of Wands reversed, there's no leadership. So, the way how this is, let's see what's going on. The way how this is what's going to be happening, and let's see. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to clarify this 10 cups reverse. Sagittarius, you want skill. 8 Pentacles, you want perfection. Hangman, you want to have restrictions. Yeah, because you're being restricted. On how you're feeling, Scorpio, that's what's happening that way. You need to have restrictions because that's what you're going to be doing, and you need to focus on your energy levels. You need to focus about what's right, what's wrong. But what this is, you need to have your own rebound of your restrictions, no matter what's happening in that way. What's this 5 of Swords about? 6 Wands, you want to have celebration. 7 Wands, you're not feeling resilience. 7 Cups, there's a delusion. 4 Pentacles, there's no prospect about money. 3 Reverse, there's no progress. 3 Reverse, there's no transformation. Judgment, you're taking action. Yeah, because you want to take action on how you're feeling that way, and you're going to go for it. What's this King of Wands about? High Priestess reverse, you're not using your voice. Queen Cups, you want empathy. 2 sides of the story here. King Cups reverse, you have no support. 6 Pentacles, you want kindness. Yeah, because you want to feel like you're yourself, that you want to have kindness. Yes, you're basically acting like you're being rude and you're being respectful, but the way this is, Scorpio, you need to focus on what you want in that reality, right? If you want to go through your own physical outcome, and your outcome is that you want to be believing in yourself, and you want to take things perspective, that's what you want. You need to take action, you need to be kind, you need to be, the way how this is, because that's what's happening in that way. Because you need to go with the flow, right? That's what you want, but that's what's happening in that way. Let's see what the universe is saying here. So I'm going to go from the left, the middle, and right. So we have the 10 Swords reverse, there's no conclusions. But with the Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions. And the 6 Wands reverse, there's no achievement. Okay, so let's have some of this 10 of Swords here. 8 Wands, you want new beginnings. Judgment, you're taking action. 6 Pentacles, you want kindness. Yeah, so you are in between. You want kindness, you want respect, you want to be how you're feeling. Okay, so the way this is, that's what you're happening. So whether you might be dealing with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, you're focusing on what needs to be done, and that's what's happening in that way. I would clarify the Hangman reverse, but I'm going to clarify the 6 Wands. So we have the 9 Cups is where you want romance. Queen Cups where you want empathy, and the Page Cups where you want loyalty. Yeah, because you want things to be having your own perspective. You want to have loyalty. You want empathy. You want romance. If you focus on what needs to be done, that's what you want, right? So the way how this is, Scorpio, you need to focus about what you need, because you want loyalty. You want empathy. You want to focus on 2 sides of the story here. You want to focus about romance. That's what you want, because in that way, Scorpio, you need to focus on what's happening around you, right? That's what's happening in that way. What's this Hangman about? Wind reverse is no misrotations. Tree reverse is no progress. King of Pentacles where you want security. 9 Pentacles where you're feeling comfortable. King of Swords reverse is no knowledge. High Priest reverse is no inner voice. Hierophant is where you want guidance. Yeah, so Scorpio, all you want is that physical outcome, that you need to have the resistance of having that guidance, right? So whether you need to have guidance, that's what you're going to be happening in that way. Because, I need to tell you is that if you are basically dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, generally Aquarius, you need to focus on what's happening in that way. Because if you are looking for the way of that perfect of guidance, you need it, right? So this is what's happening in that way. You need to have your own boundary. You need to physical of knowing what to do, and you need to understand that, because if you want to have your own way of physical, of your own physical reality, of having your own physical emotions, and you need to focus on that. You need to have your own guidance. You need to pay attention to what's happening around you. So for example, if you want to have a conversation with somebody, and you need to have that bold of conversation, that's fine. But if you want to represent yourself to be nice and you be kind to somebody, that's great. But if you focus about the negativity and you're in between about your emotions, between negative, positive, that person, if you're going to have a conversation with, for example, that person will leave you alone, right? And, if you're going to cut off that conversation, if you need to focus about your own empathy, two sides of the story here, you need to focus on that. You need to focus on what's happening in that way, because, you need to figure out between stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, right? So you need to focus on that. You need to focus on your emotions on stage 1. Stage 2, you maybe communicate. Maybe you're going to recharge your own batteries, you know what I'm saying? But the way this is, you need to understand what you're feeling in that way, okay? And stage 3, you want to pay attention about, okay, think about the positive, not the negative, right? So the way this is, that's what's happening in that way. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please enjoy it, and I'll see you next one I do, and that's what's happening in that way. So thank you very much. Thank you. Bye for now. Really thank you, and thanks, and bye.